Hi, Paul Beveridge here from Retention Guru, and in this video, it's a little bit longer than some of them, I am talking to Mo and Matthew from the Lifts podcast about memberships, not just membership packages, membership behavior, but we get into it over the concept of dynamic pricing. Now, we've done work on dynamic pricing before for some operators, and yeah, I'm going to tell you the impact of that is. So if you're interested in understanding what the changing nature of membership is and what you might need to prepare for, then this is a really great video to watch. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them in the box down below. For now, just enjoy the video and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye.
Paul, as the next topic, I want to talk about the changing member models or changing membership plans. One of the things that I think I spent a lot of time just thinking through and talking to operators around is we have gone, if you follow the evolution of memberships from annual contracts decades ago. In fact, some countries today in Asia still have annual contracts. You pay for your membership 1 year at a time, to then going to twice a year, to then monthly contracts. Now you could join and cancel at any time. I think the next evolution of that is really going to be the gym's going to be free and you are only going to be paying for utilization when you show up to the gym or what facilities you use within the gym. And a lot of that's been driven by the evolution of, I think, alternative payment types and payment methods, looking at the class passes, the well hubs. So whether it is they're using an aggregator model or it's been more of a corporate membership play. I'm just curious to get your perspective on, do you think that gyms have to be looking forward and saying we have to be more flexible in our membership?
Yeah, I think so, but I think you have to also be mindful to not have too many different offerings, because as soon as you start having too many different offerings, people then worry about making the wrong decision to buy rather than being clear about what they are buying. I think what you'll have is experienced exercisers, and this is what we've seen, experienced exercisers don't mind signing up for longer periods if they get a discount on that, because they know they're going to use it. Whereas new to exercise are often anxious about whether they'll be able to stick to this. So they're often naturally moved towards the low cost operators because the cost of join or the use is low to start with. So the risk reward, the risk is quite low. I do think we're seeing already more people using almost pay as you go, as I would refer to it, pay per visit. The challenge for operators is that money can go away really quickly. And in fact, when we did research on the boutique market, people who were paying for individual sessions or short packs of 5 really didn't stay. It was the people who were paying for greater packs, so we're buying 10s, 15s, 20s, they'd stay longer. And when some of the boutiques we worked with had a membership, the people who signed up to membership always stayed longer than the people who paid per visit. I think there's going to be some real challenges. And I think you were talking about utilization. I often joke, and I think one of the blogs I did a number of years ago was on, imagine an industry where we only got paid on results. How many operators would go out of business if you got paid once the client got the result?
Which we're calling outcome-based, right? Look, I don't think that's far out. I would argue that people are going to be asking for that and saying, I'm going to commit to you. And as long as I show up and I do the things you tell me to do, because as an industry, we're more connected than ever with wearables and food logging. I think we're going to be seeing that model not be in the fringes, but I think we're going to see some mainstream brands in the next 5 years come out with outcome-based metrics.
But I think the challenge around, I like the outcome-based metrics thing. I am really happy with that. I think the challenge with paying per visit is climatic conditions can change. And if you're in like some of the northern states in America, the snow comes in, I'm not going today because of the snow. Clubs don't get the money. So the pricing might have to reflect a less frequent visitor or the weather. And I don't think dynamic pricing is ever going to work in the fitness industry, because I don't think we don't have a lack of resource. So I hear lots of people going, oh, we're going to do dynamic pricing where the price moves up and down. I just won't go when it's expensive. or I won't join when it's expensive. It's not like a flight where I actually need to be somewhere on a certain date. And if I don't buy it early enough, I'm going to have to pay more.
I think you're going to have a lot of challenges to that. In fact, we should clip that little piece out and put it out because I'd love to get comments from the industry. I know some good people. Matthew, you and I know
Yeah.
Felipe.
Yeah, I was on a call yesterday just about it, who seems to be working. It's still early days, and we'll definitely have to get Felipe on with you probably, Paul. But the first few months are extremely successful for him. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one.
But the interesting thing is, Matt, and I don't know how he's doing it, but it's working for him, but will it work for the members long term? Because you know how you feel when you go online to book a flight and the price is one thing, and then you come back an hour later and it's almost double. You're like, you hate them.
But you think you've been cookied, and every time, and I think in some cases when you do go back on, it goes up and up and up, and so I think there's a natural distrust in now they've pinged something to me and they're just pulling the wool over my eyes and thinking I'm stupid.
But what I'm saying is also...
I don't want to say anything against Felipe because he's a great client.
No, nor do I. I don't know how his model's working, but we did some dynamic pricing modeling for an operator probably more than 10 years ago, and they were a low-cost operator. And what they reported back to us once they'd applied it was people just waited till the price went back down before they joined. It's almost like waiting for Black Friday. I'm not buying it this week because next week it's going to be on sale.